Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Last shipment of the oil from the Middle East just landed in California, in Long Beach. That tanker sailed before the war started because there's a time delay, right? It takes 50 days to sail from Persian Gulf to the west coast of U.S. So now all the oil that sailed before the war started has arrived. The shortage will now begin. We have not seen anything yet, because up to this point, we're still getting the oil that was coming in more than a month ago that was already on the ocean. Now the real shortage will begin. And all thanks to Donald Trump. And
also, we run out of reserves in about 4 weeks. There are reserves all over the world, and we would really run out. And there'll be a time when you wouldn't be able to get it. And you want to see bedlam? Also, we run out of reserves in about 4 weeks. There are reserves all over the world, and we would really run out. And there'll be a time when you wouldn't be able to get it. And you want to see bedlam?
By Trump's own admission, we have about 4 weeks left of oil reserves. And the Strait of Hormuz is still not open, due to the Zionist, genocidal, blue and white nation continuing to bomb Lebanon on the daily, despite Trump and Iran reaching a peace agreement a couple days ago. It is contingent upon the fact that the blue and white nation gets the hell out of Lebanon and stops invading and killing them, which they refuse to do. So now, the United States is about a month away from complete economic collapse. Much of the globe has already dealt with a version of this. The United States is really probably the last nation to feel the full-blown effects of the oil shortages due to the Strait of Hormuz being closed, because our reserves were at such a high level, higher than just about anybody else. But even we are not invincible. And yes, we do produce a lot of oil in the United States, but we export most of it. And even though the oil is produced in the United States, it's not owned by the people. It's not owned by our government. It's owned by private corporations that only care about profit. So this is a great time for them because demand is through the fucking roof. So all of the oil owners in the United States, all of the oil companies, have quite literally never been richer. So they're not going to cut the American people a deal just because it's produced and they exist in this country, is the unfortunate truth. And so now Trump finds himself in a very precarious position because Israel is not going to stop. They won't. This is who they are. And if you can't strike a deal with Iran and you can't get the strait opened up to get oil moving back here on a regular basis, you're fucked. So I'm genuinely curious to see what he's going to do. And all of these problems are by his own creation, of course, because in early February, the strait was wide open. We are not at war with Iran, and I'm not going to say everything was hunky-dory because obviously we still have a ton of problems in our country, but in comparison to what's going on right now, shit was obviously better. So yeah, I mean, Trump and JD Vance can get on TV and start to change their hand and publicly denounce Israel, but at the end of the day, words are just words, and actions are the only thing that Iran is going to listen to at this point. And the red line of the deal is Israel has to stop attacking Lebanon and remove themselves from Lebanon completely, because they're currently still attempting to execute a ground invasion. So
hey, Shalom. First off, I want to start by giving all praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem, Rakab Kadash. Also want to give a double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this word, and the brothers who teach down with sincerity. Also want to give a salutation to the elect scattered across the four corners of the earth, known as the Israelite foreigners and the speckled birds. All right. So we just got word on live TV. President Trump, Nero 47, said that the reserves of oil will be running out in 4 weeks. So everybody's running crazy with this. All right, and we know possibly that it's been kind of quiet dealing with prophecy and things. Really, at least on my end, Satan has stripped me away from TikTok. Algorithm messed up. My YouTube algorithm. There's just no way for me to get anything now. Satan's really working on me, but it works, but don't seem to work because I'm not one of them people who don't want to do the work of the Lord. So my TikTok is just messed up. My YouTube, I don't have really social media like that. So it's why you're getting less videos, and Satan just tormenting me at the time, but it really ain't working because at the back of my head, I know that it's about to go down. All right. So what's going to happen when when America runs out of reserves and the Strait of Hormuz is still closed, it's not open? Even if they were to open up the Strait of Hormuz, it would still take time to fill up all the gas stations and fill up and do all the damage that has been done. It would still take time to fix that, but it's not even been fixed or attempted to be fixed. So we're going to see when this thing happens, we're going to see a mass panic of the people. No gas, people gas hoarding, gas stations wrapped around a line. We're not going to see no trucks. The food, we're not going to see no trucks. A lot of truck drivers are going to quit. A lot of trucks are going to be parked. It's going to be a lot of transportation not coming no more because of this. And this is what we've been talking about since this thing happened. It's been slowly falling. It's been slowly progressing because you see the gas going down. That's a false narrative, making people think it's okay. For the people who don't watch it, don't pay attention, who don't believe in Yahweh Shai, they think it's okay. But when that gas run out, it's going to be just like 2020 with that toilet paper issue. People are going to be going crazy, losing their mind. A lot of people are not going to be able to make it to work and lose their jobs. A lot of people are going to have to choose between eating or gas. It's going to be huge lines. It's going to be a lot of crash outs, a lot of people fighting, unaliving people for gas. Now, I'm not saying this thing is going to happen, but I'm saying it's going to happen because it only makes sense. Strait of Hormuz has been closed, all right, for a while now, all right? So this is the outcome of what happens, all right? So let's go to the scriptures. Because this might be how this happens, how Jacob trouble pops off on the next, I call it the next level of Jacob's trouble. This might be how it happens. Second Esdras 6-22. All right, this is Second Esdras 6-22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. And that'll be for the stores, Walmart, Targets. Now the owner of Walmart, Targets, the CEO has already came out and said, be looking for the store to be empty within 4 weeks. And this was like a month ago when they said this. So there's been many warnings. The CEO of Exxon, the gas station, said that he'll be running out of gas. We're here in 4 weeks. Then Trump goes on live TV and said, so you're seeing the stage been set for disaster for the following of this summer. And I said weeks ago that I believe maybe a couple weeks before June, the gas is going to start running low, but I was wrong. We're We're past June. We're going into July now. All right. So it's definitely going to hit. So now that President Trump has said it, and I got some clips to prove what I'm saying. All right. So when the food store goes empty, this brings up a lot of things. All right. Let's go to another scripture. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which even every man heareth, that they shall be suddenly afraid. At that time shall France fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the foundation shall stand still, and the 3 hours they shall not run. So this is the scripture I wanted. Just keep reading it. I was going to go to the scripture, think not that I come to send peace, but a sword, because that's what's going to come out if people can't eat. That's when people lose their mind. That's when people can't think straight. That's when all that friendship, buddy, this and that, going out the door when you can't eat. Hey, Jesus Christ going to go out the door. All these false God idols is going to come out the door, because the only name who's going to feed they men is Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And he promised that he would feed his men. All right? So when it's a famine out here and everybody hungry and starving, and it says, at that time France shall fight against one against another like enemies, and they shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein the springs. Whomsoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation in the end of your world. So who's going to escape is going to be the elect. And how to escape, the one way the elect is going to escape is the Lord is going to feed his elect. All right, his elect is going to eat. So if these things do go to extreme measures and this place does shut down, this is what's to come. The people will wax cold. What scripture was I looking for? Isaiah 65:13. This is how the men are going to escape. This is one of the ways that them certain men are going to escape, which would be the elect. Therefore thus said the Lord Yahweh, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl of vexation of spirit. And this is the times when these horrible times of the Lord hit. These are going to be the time where the Lord is going to show that his name is going to rule over everything. Because all the prophecies are happening right in front of our face. But that main prophecy is that my man shall eat. My man shall drink. All right, and they also, his man says that my man should do more work than Yahweh Shai. That's miracles. Right hand spiritual gifts. All right? For spiritual powers in order to survive these times, because not that you're not going to just be able to walk around like normal and eating food around these people when nobody else is eating. All right? They're going to come for you. So the Lord's going to lift up that standard, which is angel-like powers. All right? So when these times do come, if you a man of the Lord, you shouldn't be worried about these things coming, but know they're coming soon. So I hope this quick lesson was edifying to the elect. Hey, shalom.